Another day, another example of Elon Musk destroying Tesla and destroying sales Ford reported today a 9% drop in its auto sales for February, while Toyota reported a 5% drop in the US during the same month. I mean, I'm sure this is still somehow Elon Musk's fault, obviously, right? Couldn't possibly have anything at all to do with the broader industry, the economic environment, sky-high interest rates. This, in particular, standing out, sales of Ford's gas-powered vehicles fell nearly 13%. Remember a while ago, there was some guy, maybe 5 years ago, a little bit longer than that actually, talked about the death spiral. As EV costs come down, there's more EVs available for consumers to buy. They're becoming increasingly compelling and increasingly better value over time, that more consumers will opt to buy them. And as that happens, companies who today produce exclusively or almost entirely nothing but internal combustion engine, aka gas-powered vehicles, will see sales of those gas-powered vehicles decline. And as that happens, they will experience reversing economies of scale, meaning they make less and less money per gas vehicle sold, which is the only type of vehicle they're making any money on at all at the moment. And eventually, sales of their gas-powered vehicles will have declined enough and they'll be experiencing reversing economies of scale. They have a lot of fixed costs. So if volumes of vehicle sales go down, their costs still remain as high. So their profits shrink. Eventually their profits collapse to nothing and then they become negative. And at that point, why are you even selling vehicles you're losing money on that you know you'll only increasingly lose more and more money on over time? This is the death spiral. This wouldn't be so much of a problem if said companies experiencing a death spiral in their ICE vehicle business happen to be profitably producing electric vehicles at scale, but they're actually losing a fuck ton of money selling electric vehicles at the moment. So their current source of profits, gas-powered vehicle sales, is about to disappear, and they're nowhere near close to profitably producing electric vehicles at scale. So how the fuck are they going to have any money? How do they survive? Yeah, it's a good question. The actual answer is the majority of them won't. I've been pointing this out for literally more than half a decade now publicly. And we're starting to see this play out. Now, I just want to make sure you guys understand. Today, Ford is losing tens of thousands of dollars per electrified vehicle sold, specifically EVs. By the way, hybrids are gas-powered vehicles. They're going away as well. The short blip on the radar. They're just tricking dumbasses into thinking that's a good decision. They won't last. Pure electric vehicles, Ford's losing many tens of thousands of dollars per vehicle sold. Not like 1,000 or 2,000. No, tens and tens of thousands of dollars. They disclose their electric vehicle sales and profitability or lack thereof separately. So we know this. We don't need to speculate. They are a very long way away from profitably selling these things. So I've just asked Grok to help out. I mean, I could have done this in a spreadsheet, but Grok's awesome. I wanted to see what happens if we start with a value of 100. Let's just say that 100 represents all of Ford or any legacy automotive manufacturer's internal combustion engine vehicle sales. 100% is the starting point. What if it declines 10% per year? 5 years later, your sales have collapsed by about 40%. The figure's now just under 60, right? That's catastrophe. Even 20% is catastrophe. Well, folks, it's actually going to get much worse. If instead we saw a 13% decline year over year, at that 5-year mark, we're now under 50%. Bankrupt, gone. But wait, remember I said death spiral? This collapse is going to accelerate. Check this out. We are now assuming that the actual rate of decline increases by 50% per year. So year 1, a 13% decline. Year 2, 19.5% decline. At this rate, 2 years later, you're around 70%. 3, you're at 50. Bankrupt, gone, completely fucked. Legacy automotive manufacturers are teetering on an absolute implosion. This is what's going to happen to their internal combustion engine vehicle business. We're going to see accelerating declines in internal combustion engine vehicle sales. It's not going to be static. It doesn't really matter if we're starting at a year-over-year decline of 5%, 3%, 6%. The shape of the collapse will be very similar. It's going to be violent, non-linear. This is why I call it a death spiral. As soon as you lose a small enough amount of volume for your margins to shrink, some of your products are no longer going to be profitable, period. You just have to delete them. There's no point selling something you're losing money on. And as the cost of electric vehicles continues to come down, more and more consumers buy electric vehicles, less even consider an ICE vehicle. ICE vehicle sales come down, therefore your costs go up, meaning you have to sell them for a higher price to still make money, meaning even less consumers are willing to buy them, or you just stop selling them. Either way, death spiral. If only legacy automotive manufacturers had something that could save them. Now, I wanted to share a few comments from a research note from Morgan Stanley, specifically around Tesla autonomy, and then a massive, juicy nugget around the Optimus humanoid robot. You're going to want to stick around for that. So Morgan Stanley state that near-term expectations around FSD and Robotaxi may be too high. Quote, while we've seen rapid acceleration in interest in Robotaxi and Level 2 Plus autonomy, there is still risk that the technology may take longer than expected to roll out at scale. In our opinion, the biggest tell as to the governor of autonomous vehicle commercialization at scale is the lack of third-party statistically and empirically tested safety data from the likes of IHS and NHTSA. We need something far beyond intervention data and suspect the absence of such a study may reflect that the system does not, at this point, clearly demonstrate beyond doubt the efficacy of the system versus human driving statistics. I just want to take a moment here. This may be true. What is also true is that Tesla is collecting fuck tons of data, and if they're planning to launch their Robotaxi service mid-year in Austin, they wouldn't be intending on launching this and wouldn't have told investors they intend on launching at this date, unless they themselves were confident that their software either is already or will by that point be meaningfully safer than a human driver, and that they'll be able to prove this with mountains of data to regulators. We also embed the regulatory hurdles to mass deployment in our Tesla mobility unit forecast at 10,000 units by 2030? Are they fucking kidding? That's it? Bruh, am I high? Well, actually, and that's irrelevant. What? Hey, hold up. Are they seriously suggesting in 2030 there's only going to be 10,000 Tesla Robotaxis on roads in 2030? What? Bro. Wow. We would reiterate again our thesis of slower near-term adoption, limited by technological and potentially regulatory impediments, with convex inflection beyond 2035. What a word salad. I think they're way too skeptical, but hey, who knows? You are hearing from a guy who has a history of being overly optimistic. Maybe that's why I'm winning at life so much. Specifically, we believe expectations around Tesla's ability to commercialize autonomous technology in China are too high. Wait, did somebody say China? Wait, as in this China, or as in 50-minute FSD drive in Shenzhen, China with zero, I'm going to say that again, with zero disengagements, a 50-minute FSD drive. It's only just gone live there, the software, FSD. Did somebody say a 50-minute intervention-free drive? The whole thing, by the way, sped up a little bit here, right? I'm scrubbing through it on the timeline for those who are listening audio only. Zero interventions. The software's just gone live. A 50-minute zero intervention drive in a major city in China on software that has just gone live. By the way, this video, it's not faked, right? 50 fucking minutes in China, just gone live. And you're telling me that expectations around Tesla's ability to commercialize autonomous technology in China are too high. Now, look, in fairness to Moron Stanley, they wouldn't have seen that 50-minute video. It's posted after this note was published. But surely, you would think that their neural nets have sufficient data in the real world to have seen what Tesla's doing with FSD and understand how much of a generalized solution it is, how easy it would be to deploy elsewhere, with a few tiny little localized tweaks, and that's it. Just like humans can drive just about anywhere when they know how to drive in one city or state or road, they know how to drive just about anywhere on Earth, as long as they can read the road signs wherever they are, right? Surely it can't be relating to the technology. Let's read the rest of the note. Last summer, we asked the question, what is Tesla's future in China? In our opinion, if Tesla or any other US company were to solve the Robotaxi problem, we believe it would be highly unlikely that company would be allowed to offer such technology within the People's Republic of China. Right, so it seems like they're not arguing for the actual ability of the software to operate. I mean, we've seen that. There's no question about that. But whether or not they'll be allowed to. Look, I'm not the CCP, so I don't know. But I'll tell you what, personally, I think that China's going to want as much competition in terms of autonomy as possible. Competitive environment spurs innovation, improves safety, less people die, everyone wins. Skipping ahead a little bit, we note that while we expect an initial city introduction of Tesla's unsupervised autonomous vehicle fleet in 2026, we do not implicitly assume mass deployment of autonomous vehicles in our Tesla mobility forecast until beyond 2030. All right, so hold up a sec. So we know Tesla's going to begin producing Cybercab next year. Robotaxis launched this year in Austin. Obviously, that's going to be existing Model Ys, 3s, etc. I mean, maybe they pull a rabbit out of the hat and deploy a few Cybercabs, but I doubt it. Yet Morgan Stanley's, they're doubling down. We saw earlier, they sell like 10,000 Cybercabs essentially by 2030. They're doubling down here. Bro, they've got to be on something. Skipping ahead again. While autos still matter, we see embodied AI as the driver for upside to our $800 bull case. And on that subject, how about this? Morgan Stanley note that, quote, every 1% of US labor force that can be captured by a Tesla Optimus is worth approximately $100 per share for Tesla stock. By the way, this is percent of the existing labor market. No assumption that it can expand. Now, depending on where you are on Earth right now, Tesla market share anywhere from 5, 6, 7%, 10 in some areas around 20%. Let's just be conservative. Let's just say 10%. Imagine if Tesla Optimus humanoid robot was able to capture just 10% of the US labor force. Bam, $1,000 a share. What if it's more than that? Or what if the entire US labor force grows? Or wait for it, what if Tesla can capture 1% of the global, not just US, but global labor force, or 10%? Or what if the whole thing grows? This is where we start to talk about potential $10 valuations for Tesla in terms of the market cap. It's pretty crazy to see Morgan Stanley have actually said this out loud. Might explain their $800 per share bull case for Tesla stock. Food for thought. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients. Plus, has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. Just got my AG1 in the mail, legit feeling the effects after day 3. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, or I can keep going. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs.